The Babushka Project began in a moment I didn't expect. A moment where something small, a tone, a misunderstanding, hit me with a force that didn't match the situation at all. My body reacted before my brain could catch up because it had been protecting me for decades. Around the same time, while I was working on the Kindness in Motion podcast, I came across an article by a researcher, and it threw me completely. It put into words and into science something I had always suspected, but never had the language for. That childhood bullying can literally rewire the nervous system. Not metaphorically, not emotionally, physically. Suddenly, all the things I'd carried for years made sense. The vigilance, the shrinking, the masking, the sudden anger, the shutdowns. The way my body still reacts to certain tones as if I'm 12 years old again. Those weren't personality quirks. They were survival strategies. And that's when the Babushka method arrived. Look, we are all nesting dolls. The outer doll is the one the world sees, the competent one, the funny one, the one who got over it. But inside are the smaller versions of us who learn to survive, the child who learned to disappear, the teenager who learned to harden, the young adult who learned to perform. And sometimes, without warning, one of those inner dolls steps forward, not because we're dramatic or chaotic, but because something in the present moment, something from the past, and our bodies remember the echo. This project began simply as a conversation between me and Parry, two people comparing the ways our inner dolls show up, how our bodies react before our minds understand why, and how childhood experience shapes adult identities in ways we don't always see. In the original recording, the one you will never hear because the audio was a disaster, we talked about the black formless space where anger lives, the way it rises before thought, the way it protects, the way it warns. We talked about the moment you realize you were never the problem, you were never wrong, you were never chaotic. You were surviving. That messy, imperfect conversation was the seed of this project. Parry isn't with me for this intro today. He's resting. And that's exactly what he needs, because this project isn't about pushing through. It's about listening to the body. It's about honouring the nervous system. It's about recognising when the inner dolls need gentleness, not performance. So I'm opening this series alone, not because Parry isn't part of it, but because the Babushka Project started with my story, with the moment my body said enough. With that moment, I realised I'd been carrying decades of survival inside me. Over the coming episodes, you'll hear conversations between me and Parry, and with expert guests, psychologists, storytellers, and fellow babushkas who've lived through their own layers. We'll be releasing the first full episode on the 13th of May. Between now and then, we'll be recording slowly, gently, and in a way that honours where we are both right now. We'll unpack the dolls. We'll meet the versions of ourselves we forgot we were. And maybe, if you recognise in any of this, you'll start to meet your inner dolls too. Not with shame, but with curiosity. This project isn't about fixing. It's about witnessing. It's about saying, I see you. I know why you learned to be this way, and you don't have to carry it alone. Welcome to the Babushka Project. Let's begin.